Hey yo, what is going on guys? Cash and Clean here. So it was bound to happen at some point. You can probably tell from the title, but we have stuff. So pretty much we'll just get straight into it. Also, I'm going to put screenshots throughout the video in case you guys want to just check that out as you're casually watching this video. I'll just kind of give my thoughts on it. Obviously the PTS isn't out yet, at least not at the time of me recording this. These are just from the leaks that have been found. And also, I find it kind of crazy that we got all this information from the leaks and then the creators from the content creator program, we don't know anything yet. So big shoutouts to Trove for discovering the leaks, mainly just reading the files that were added inside of Trove with the PTS and stuff like that. So big shoutouts. So first things first, we have the new sigils. We pretty much already know about this. It's the 1000 mastery sigil all the way up to 1100. And I do gotta say, the sigils are pretty ugly, especially the new power rank ones, because they do not match anything at all. If we take a look at our current ones, the blue mastery sigil, if you apply the new power rank sigil with it, it looks very, very bad. Obviously, these are my opinions. You know, if you guys like it, that's cool, but I would prefer if they just completely redid these sigils, because they not only do they not match the current theme of Trove, but it just doesn't fit at all. It just doesn't make sense for us to have them. Like the color scheme and everything just don't really match anything. And as far as the other sigils go, they just don't really match together as well. But either way, that's besides the point. That's sigils. Let's get into the new Empower Gem boxes, the new gem boxes. I'll put up a screenshot for all of that over here. So we got brand new designs. If I had to guess, they're just going to add elemental worlds to D15. So we have the current D15 Longshade. I'm assuming that they're going to add one for Prime World and then all of the elemental worlds. Could you imagine if they didn't add elemental worlds and we just had to wait for the rotation to come through in the current Longshade? That would be wild. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. But then that would also mean gems would be time gated and limited, because Longshade doesn't last forever. I believe it closed every 4 hours and then it gets locked after 3 hours or something like that. I doubt that's what's gonna happen, but I mean, you never know with these devs. Anything could be possible. And speaking of anything could be possible, it is going to cost a ton of soul adepts to even upgrade your crystal gems to mystic. So this is going to be a problem. These numbers are just placeholders for now. But at the moment, we have mystic gem sparks and they're going to cost 20 of each gem spark. So we got the air through the cosmic ones. You need 20 of those just to craft the mystic spark. And that's just one. And then for the Empower Gem boxes, for the Mystic ones that is, it's going to cost 50 Empower Gem fragments on top of 5 Souled Adepts and 1 Mystic Gem Spark. And I believe an extra 30 of the Elemental Gem Sparks. Obviously just placeholders for now. But either way, with the current numbers that we have, it's going to cost around 2400 souls for one complete set of gems. So it is just a placeholder, but could you imagine farming 2400 souls just to complete gems for one class? That is awful. We have Mystic Gems to deal with at the moment. I remember joking saying on stream how it would be funny if they cost soul adepts. I remember multiple people joking about stuff like that. Well, it actually happened, so maybe we should just not joke about these things, because it seems like, I don't know if they took our advice, maybe they're watching the stream secretly, but it seems like from all the feedback they've listened to, that one is the one that caught their attention the most. Hopefully they make the mystic gems and the gear a little bit easier to farm. It doesn't seem like it, but it's not going to be fun farming a bunch of souls just to level up your gems. And I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but going back to the whole boxes in D15, the elemental ones, it seems like crystal gems are going to be the common drop, and then mystic gems are going to be the uncommon type. So you can drop them at level 1. I don't have any information on the leveling, the materials, all that stuff. The PTS is not even open yet, so that's why I'm giving you the background gameplay that we got going on right now. But once it is open, I'll be sure to drop some guides to let you know the information and what is going down. So far, there hasn't been any news on Mystic Gem converters, so that's going to be a bit of an issue because we have the Crystal Gem converters, but I guess no Mystic Gem converters. If I had to guess, maybe the devs want to profit off of the gem booster boxes or something like that. However, it seems like you can craft the converter, but it's not going to be for the typical qubits from my understanding. And I believe that's what's going to cost Soul of the Depths. I could be wrong on that. Obviously, I don't have the information in front of me, so I'm not 100% certain. But just know that we'll need souls. We'll have to farm a ton of gem dust. I believe 30 mil of each elemental type. Could be more, could be less. Actually, there's no way to be less. Either that or it would be more. And yeah, I don't know. So far, that's all the information that I have. And on top of that, since we are going to be getting a massive power rank boost, I'm assuming we're going to start seeing mystic gear drop from the gear crafter boxes. I remember from stellar to crystal gems, we went up like close to 10k power rank. So if you are approaching endgame and close to 50k power rank, maybe it'd be best to save the gear crafter boxes, because maybe you hit 45k, you can get the potential crystal 5s from them. Or if you wait a bit longer, which it will take a bit of time because it's gonna be a lot of gem dust, you will get to 50k power rank, and then mystic gear will be a little bit easier, I would assume, from them. Now, I don't know the exact power rank that we get, but they have sigils up to 65k power rank. So I'm guessing, like, at what point is mystic gear gonna be a consistent drop from the boxes? And just like every crystal gear, You can get them at level 2 or level 3 if you're lucky enough, which would be good because it would save you Soul of the Depths and stuff like that, but you still need a ton to even level those things, and the Depths Core, and the Deep Stone. But yeah, I think that's all the information that I wanted to give to you guys for today. As soon as I get more info, I'll be sure to tell you guys, and as soon as the PTS drops, I'll probably do like a first time playthrough of it all, and then after that I'll start working on guides for each thing, so stay on the lookout for that. I don't know when the PTS is going to drop. My guess is either Friday at the time we're recording this, which would be tomorrow, and if it's not then maybe next week. And if I had to guess, maybe the PTS stays around for about a month until it goes to live servers, so I guess we'll have to see. Either way, if the prices or if things get horrible in terms of farming everything, we're definitely going to have to let the devs know in the feedback channel in a nice way. Just, you know, nice and polite about it. We don't need to get pitchforks and knives, just, you know, nice chill conversation. Maybe inform the devs how terrible the idea is, depending on what ends up going down. But I think you guys get the point here. Alright, so one last thing I'm going to talk about before we end the video is the Battle Block Battery. So pretty much this is going to be for physical damage characters, allegedly. It could just be a general buff. But pretty much what happens is, I don't know how exactly this works actually, but I'll put up a screenshot. Basically, you press E, I don't know if you purchase this thing or if it's like a temporary buff, but if you were to get one shot, for example, so the clams, for example, or the Leviathan, anything that will one shot you, I don't think it'll apply to, maybe it applies to regular enemies too if you don't have death defying, but pretty much I guess your character will do like a block animation or something to block that incoming damage, so you can actually avoid getting one shot. So that is pretty handy. I don't know how that's going to be implemented, especially with how laggy and you know how Trove goes. So I guess we'll have to see how that is in terms of gameplay. Either way, that's going to be all for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys later.